Hi friends, I'm Tony of Annie's Creative Studio and I'm so excited to have you with us for our latest crochet along. Over the next several weeks, we'll be working through the Twilight's Touch Doily, a lovely pattern in classic crochet style. There are dozens of uses for doilies, from adorning a dining room table to fitting them around a brass ring for a unique wall hanging. The Twilight's Touch doily is intricate without being difficult, so it instantly adds personality to whatever room you put it in. So this Crochet Skill Builders crochet along is going to be spread out over 8 total parts. Here in part 1, we're going to focus on the materials, the special stitches, and the pattern notes. Having these things in mind will help us as we move into the actual pattern. Each part of our crochet along will have its own pattern download. Amy's Creative Studio members can download each part of the pattern as we progress through the crochet along. And if you're not a member already, go ahead and join so you can crochet along with us. As you make your projects, we would love to see them, so make sure you upload them to the gallery that's below this video player. All right, friends, let's talk about some materials. Here I have a finished sample of the Twilight's Touch pattern, and this was made in our classic size 10 crochet thread. It's a mercerized cotton, which means that it has a slight sheen to it, and what's nice is that it's easy to find cottons like this in plenty of different colors. So this is categorized as a 0, which is a lace weight, and you can see that it is very, very thin. This was very commonly used for projects like doilies like this because it's an inexpensive fiber, it's very easy to find, and it stands the test of time. To make this crochet along a little bit easier to see here on camera, I'm actually going to be making my sample in a slightly heavier yarn. This is Uptown Baby Sport from Universal Yarns. It's categorized as a level 2 fine, which is a sport weight, which makes it slightly heavier than a lace. For the colors, I'm going to be swapping out this white for white, this light blue for light blue in the pattern, this color blue for the royal blue, and this color for the light purple. When it comes to picking your hook, the pattern suggests a 1.65 millimeter size hook for the crochet thread. So I have here a 1.75 millimeter. That's what I had in my stash. And as you can see, the hook head is very, very small. So if you're using crochet thread, you'll want to use the hook size that's recommended in the pattern or the size needed to obtain your gauge. I'm actually going to be using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook because that is going to fit the yarn that I'm using on camera a little bit better. In addition to that, for this pattern, you'll also need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. As we work up our sample, there are a few pattern notes that you'll want to keep in mind. Be sure that you join with a slip stitch unless it's otherwise stated in the pattern. Our beginning chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and our beginning chain 4 counts as a treble crochet. In our pattern, we're going to be working up a few special stitches which we're going to work through together right now. So the first one is going to be our popcorn that starts by placing 5 treble crochets in the same stitch. So there's one, yarn over twice, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, through 2. There's a second, here comes the third, the fourth, and the fifth. To finish off our popcorn, we're going to drop our hook from our loop, put it into the first treble crochet that we made of those 5, put the loop back on our hook, tighten it down, kind of push our work towards us, and pull that loop through. And that creates our popcorn, and we continue on with our pattern. The next special stitch that we're going to work through together is our double treble decrease. So to start, we're going to yarn over as for a double treble, so that is 3 times around. Insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 times. And we're going to keep this loop back. Now we're going to yarn over 3 times again, pull up a loop in the next stitch, and yarn over and pull through 3 times again. So there's 1, 2, and 3, keeping that loop back. Then we'll yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops to complete our decrease and move on in our pattern. And the last special stitch that we'll practice together is our triple picot. So I'm going to insert my hook and start by chaining 4. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch in the first of those 4 chains. And then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitch into the first of those 5 chains. And then chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the first of those 4 chains. Then I'm just going to put a slip stitch in that same stitch where I did all my picots to show you what the finishing stitch looks like. And that is our triple picot. The more comfortable you are with our special stitches, the easier the Twilight's Touch crochet along is going to be for you. So make sure you practice, practice, practice. Next week, we'll return for part 2 of our crochet along and focus on rounds 1 through 5. Until then, you can continue practicing your special stitches and make sure you upload photos of your swatches to the Annie's Creative Studio website and the Annie's Creative Studio Facebook page. Until then, I'm Tony, and I'll see you back here for part 2 of the Twilight's Touch crochet along.